This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's automotive leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Protesters taking a stand during a KAHA board meeting urging the agency not to send a FestPac delegate to Hawaii this summer. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the concerns.
Sanchez High students are ready to rise strong and sing this Friday. I'm Julian Hernandez speaking with a few of the Sharks behind the upcoming rally who want island leaders to rebuild their campus now.
And Biba Mes Chamorro, KUAM's month-long special Rooted, takes us to Doña, where multiple generations each share how they continue to learn the language of Guam. Hafidades and buenas noches. Bienvenido para KUAM News Primetime. Guahu Sinek Delgado. We begin with a developing story unfolding in the waters off Asin, a search underway for a fisherman who never returned to shore Wednesday afternoon. Units with the Guam Fire Department responding to Asin Beach around 1:28 p.m. to a reported overdue fisherman. The fisherman is only described as being a 40-year-old man. Just before news time, officials say search efforts were ongoing on land and sea. Guam Fire conducting the search alongside the Coast Guard vessel and the Navy's HSC-25. The search unfolding as a high surf advisory was in place. A reminder tonight from the National Weather Service, a high-risk advisory remains in effect through Thursday afternoon for Guam and the CNMI. Inexperienced swimmers are being advised to remain out of the water due to dangerous conditions. For the latest on this, go to KUAM.com. In response to what he calls a disinformation campaign, Attorney General Douglas Moylan listing all of the public contracts his office is reviewing to his website. Adaloop has accused the AG of shirking his duties, but Moylan says his online postings prove he has not. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The dispute began when the AG announced that he no longer represents some 22 GovGuam agencies that are under investigation based on audits by the OPA. The governor said his withdrawal threatens critical public contracts that require AG review and approval, and she released more than 24 letters from agencies attesting to that. Moylan counters that he continues to review contracts, but with a disclaimer that he represents the people, not the agencies. And he posted all the contracts online as proof.
And I'm still available for anyone who wants to call saying that they need a contract through. And I'm talking about, I've got senators, directors, people from the public and these organizations that need to have certain contracts expedited through our office.
But it's more than just contract review. It's also about whether the AG can be both civil advisor and prosecutor.
And that's what we're in court for. So this is an outshoot of that struggle that we're trying to make sure that our office is acting ethically.
There are actually two cases the AG is prosecuting. One is against public health officials for allegedly approving health permits for schools that were never inspected, and another against mass transit officials for allegedly hiring an unqualified general manager.
The Attorney General must protect the public, and government officials can't use the Attorney General's office to stop the prosecution when they are accused of wrongdoing.
He declined to speak on the merits of the cases, saying he's waiting on the court to rule.
I hope that we have a timely resolution to it, but it's bigger than any one person or Attorney General.
The governor has also called 2 special sessions for lawmakers to take action. They declined to do so each time. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Now to continuing coverage to the story we first brought you on KUAM Digital, Mitsuki Hirayama joins me for the Guam Council of the Arts and Humanities Agency Board of Directors meeting held Tuesday night over the 13th FestPac delegation.
Right, Nick, the best way to describe what went down at that meeting, just fireworks. Emotions were already high and building for weeks now as those opposing a Suruhanu and Port police officer who was twice acquitted for rape charges have been calling on KAHA to remove him from the delegation in a letter campaign, which was also sent to island media. It's what got us to this point.
Right, and he was there at the public meeting along with concerned community members?
That's right, and as you can imagine, there were some heated and angry moments on top of the board voting to do a new call out for FestPac delegates instead of removing this one delegate.
Order? This man is a rapist. He raped me. I took him to court. That is credible. That is credible. And everyone here, you all know how corrupt the system is on Guam. Okay.
Anger erupting Tuesday as the KAHA Board of Directors voted to, quote, wipe the slate clean and repick all 100 delegates to represent Guam at the 13th FestPac in Hawaii this June. This as concerned community members have been calling on KAHA the past month to remove spiritual healer and Port Police Officer Franco Jameson Nicholas from the delegation.
I'm very curious. Why is it taking so long? How many more women do you need to have this happen to? How many more why is it they only need to be convicted? Why can't you listen to your community without the judicial system?
Despite being twice acquitted of criminal sexual conduct charges in 2022, they call him a, quote, sexual predator who should not represent Guam. A tense moment during the public meeting as Sir Nicholas calls his accusers a liar.
Or a rapist. Everyone knows.
Okay.
Everyone saw me.
What'd you say?
Please allow me. During the meeting.
And some not satisfied with the move to revet all applicants instead of removing one delegate. But board member and Chalampago Ordot Mayor Jesse Gogui says the decision to scrub the 2020 list gives new applicants a fair shot at making the 2024 delegation after the festival was delayed for 4 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Regardless of who applies, everybody will be vetted in the same manner. The FestPac committee and their genre chairs are going to be directed to follow the guidelines on screening and the selection of delegates for this 2024 list, because that's what we're here for.
Even if they were acquitted twice?
KAHA Acting Executive Director Angie Taitagui tells KUAM this means Sir Nicholas, like any others, can still submit an application, though there will be stricter vetting guidelines. The new guidelines and applications will be available by March 15th. Applications are due in 2 weeks by March 29th. From there, the FestPac committee will have until April 12th to compile a new list of delegates. The board will vote on their next meeting.
This matter has to be resolved one way or another. We all need to come together because I have a deep in my heart feeling that we may not be invited. This is all invitation to all FestPac. You know, they may not want to invite Guam anymore.
Whatever the outcome, those speaking up are keeping KAHA to their word to pick delegates the island can be proud of to celebrate the Chamorro culture. Ultimately, it's more work for KAHA now that they're back to the drawing board, especially with FestPac less than 3 months away.
Well, is there a time frame the community can look forward to on who will be part of that 100-member delegation? And more importantly, if Sir Nicholas will be representing Guam?
Well, the acting executive director tells me the board will have to approve or disapprove the new list of 2024 FestPac delegates at the next month's board meeting set for April 12th.
Well, a man who failed to register as a sex offender is denied his request for a modified bail so he could get out of prison. A Superior Court judge denying the request made by sex offender Joshua Camacho. Camacho pleaded guilty in 2017 to charges of electronic enticement of a child and fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct. He was sentenced to 4 years of probation. The victim was a 14-year-old girl. He was taken back into custody after failing to report to probation, though. Camacho, who's being held on $10,000 cash bail, wanted to be released on his own recognizance. Judge Arthur Barcina is denying his request, stating he evaded authorities for nearly 2 years. A stolen bus sends Guam police on an early morning high-speed chase ending at the Anderson Air Force Base front gate. The chase leading to the arrest of 37-year-old Jesse Basiliso, who also goes by the name Jesse Sablan. He was arrested on suspicion of theft of a motor vehicle, criminal mischief, 2 counts of criminal trespass, eluding a police officer, resisting arrest, and obstructing government operations. Guam police getting the call around 7:30 this morning. The investigators saying the company, Cortec, reported the theft. employees spotting it headed towards Tengisin Beach before officers showed up and gave chase along Route 1. Basilizo was captured after colliding into a concrete barrier near the front gate. Prison records show his criminal record dates back to 2006, with separate arrests for theft, robbery, aggravated assault, to name a few. After years of promises and constant delays of a new campus being built, the students from Sanchez High are taking matters into their own hands and preparing for an upcoming rally this Friday. Ahead of that, KUAM's Julian Hernandez speaks with a couple of those students who are fed up with waiting any longer.
The Sanchez High School students are done waiting.
We've been given false promises these past years for a new campus. It makes me a little angry that we are pushed aside.
Seniors Cherry Bartolome and Gianna Pico are just a couple of the students that voiced their frustrations with the long-time ongoing issue.
It's been really hard because I feel like we're kind of just like homeless right now. We're just being like tossed around, and it's really sad, and like nothing is being done to rebuild our school. I do feel like we're the second priority kind of, because we have been waiting really long, so it's kind of like, okay, are we just something to push aside? Are we not as important as we think we are? We are the students, we are the kids of the future, so why aren't we kind of the priority?
They, along with other school clubs, came together and are organizing a rally to bring to light to Guam's leaders the one thing they want immediately.
Our purpose is to give back to our school and to basically just leave a mark before we graduate, and it's hard to do so without a campus. Before we leave, we would want to at least kind of start that and give a new campus to our future students.
From rodent infestations to classrooms falling apart, the Jigo school had been operating in rather less than ideal conditions for decades. The aftermath of Typhoon Mawar had ultimately put the nail in the coffin for the school, leaving students and staff no choice but to share campuses with the John F. Kennedy High Islanders.
It's been really hard, especially since I live all the way up in Jigo. So even though we have like a different schedule, our schedule is different, it's still harder for me because transportation reasons. I don't really know when the bus comes here. So it's either I show up too early to the bus or too late because I don't have like a definite schedule. I agree with everyone. It's hard not having our own campus, not having our own, like, our home, basically.
Guam Department of Education Superintendent Kenneth Swanson says he's in full support of the Sharks rally.
I encourage them to stay visible. And it is important, and sometimes we have to put a little pressure on the public entities that are responsible for this. Can't underscore enough how important it is. I know it's important to the community, and then the faster that this project gets underway, then the better it'll be for everyone.
He reassures Sanchez stakeholders GDOE is doing as much as they can to place them into a campus of their own.
They also need to know that we're working to have them have a good temporary campus to go to school, and it puts them in a better situation than what we have right now.
The Sanchez High Rebuild Rally is set for this Friday at 4 in the afternoon at the JFK High intersection. The push for a new campus has also led to the Sanchez Sharks raising funds on their own, selling t-shirts with messages that drive home the point with these simple words. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
Thanks, Jules. Time for a quick break, but keep it here. More from your local news leader after this break.
KUAM TV8 is now streaming live on Peacock.
Expected to participate in the parade.
Get your local news and weather at home or on the go.
Building a home on Guam is to make sure it's typhoon-proof.
Plus your favorite NBC shows. From Today to The Tonight Show, live.
We're so happy that you're joining us.
You guys ready for this?
And so much more.
The OGs are back. Oh, what a treat.
All in one place. Streaming now on Peacock.
Troy Polamalu Safety, a.k.a. the Quiet Storm. Troy's seen more out of the corners of his cold steel eyes than most mortal men have seen straight on. The last thing an offense would witness, a fury of flowing mane incoming at high speed.
Hey!
Cat-like quickness and supernatural instincts like Troy's only come once in a lifetime. And oh, how grateful we are that they came in ours. No one made the beloved burg of Pittsburgh feel quite as safe as this safety. The Hyundai Tucson with advanced safety and tech, because even safeties could use a little more safety themselves.
Try new McDonald's sauce now.
Now? Huh?
The race to McDonald's is on!
I will win!
Welcome! I guess we both win. Try new savory chili McDonald's sauce, only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, go!
Welcome back to Primetime. It's described as a voyage to digital equity in the Northern Marianas. Regional correspondent Tomas Manglutnio reports on the proposed 5-year plan to bridge the digital divide.
The CNMI Broadband Policy and Development Office is accepting public comments until April 6 for the Commonwealth's first digital equity 5-year plan.
The Digital Equity Plan is a 5-year sustainable plan for the CNMI, and this is the ways in which BPD plans to bridge the digital divide within the CNMI.
The plan covers 5 major areas: workforce and economic development, health outcomes, education, essential services, and civic and social engagement. The plan comes after a series of meetings with community members. The plan explained that 38% of the population falls below 150% of the poverty line. They're hoping the plan will increase affordability, accessibility, and adaptability in the digital world.
Some of our big projects would be like getting core curriculum for digital literacy, and that would primarily pertain to our students here in PSS, or even hopefully in the private school sectors as well. Another thing that we look towards, and something really big that we've been wanting to work with, it was telehealth. We'd like to ensure cybersecurity within our communities, especially for the elderly who are most vulnerable.
The full plan can be viewed at bpd.cnmi.gov. Tomas Manglutnio, KUAM News, Saipan.
Cybersecurity continues to be a major concern. Last May, federal authorities were alerted by Microsoft that a Chinese state-sponsored hacking group was able to breach key data systems in Guam. According to a New York Times report, this was particularly important to China because military communications often piggyback on commercial networks. In response, Vice Speaker Tina Munoz-Barnes has introduced a bill to create a Mariana's cybersecurity working group to address ongoing threats. Guam Power Authority's Chief Information Technology Officer Melvin Kwek testified in support of the measure during a public hearing today.
Negotiation committee and their work, their due diligence, and their work moving through that.
We think it's critical, especially now. Guam is a major target based on our geopolitical scene right now, our proximity to Asia and all that's going around us, and also because of our DoD defense and bases on island. GPA takes cybersecurity very seriously just because our biggest customer is DoD itself, and we are here to make sure that they can accomplish their mission.
But GPA and private sector reps are concerned about how much of the information discussed at the meeting should be available to the public.
We want to be transparent, but keep in mind, we are dealing with an adversary that is watching us 24 hours a day. Consideration for information sharing, information release, and also what can be discussed within the group and also outside the group. I'm sure everybody here is working diligently with FBI partners, CISA, Homeland Security, NSA, and they have the same concept. They want to help us. They want to support us. Information that we shared is also kept confidential, and this group should have the same focus.
Barnes plans to incorporate the concerns and hopes to get her bill on the agenda as early as the next legislative session. From the moment they step onto the campus to when they head home, one's on his school stepping up how they are keeping the Chamorro language alive. In this week's Mes Chamorro special, Rooted, we head over to St. Francis Catholic School where the teachers and students use the native language both inside and outside the classroom.
Rooted is brought to you by Templa.
now open to serve up all your local favorites.
I think it is interesting, and I like my language, and I want to learn about it in the future. I've learned a lot in Chamorro, because outside there's like that, and then usually after break you let us do Chamorro, and that's our way to get into the classroom. And it really helped me learn Chamorro. So thank you for teaching me.
Explain exactly what we do outside, like after break, when we line up. What did you have to do in order to come back into the classroom?
You have to say like sentences in Chamorro. Like there's different ones every week. It's very different, but it's very fun learning Chamorro.
Now we're trying to incorporate it and infuse it into our curriculum so that the kids will understand both languages and be able to communicate better with each other as well as our parents and our elders, and to have the Chamorro language continue on.
And I'm so very proud of all of you guys. And guys, take this home and share it with your family.
That's one way for them to start learning it, and so they can understand. So if there's that repetition there, and we think that that really helps them to remember. It helps me remember.
The basic idea is really maila sa aplika kita hita hafata sangangani ifamagunta, meaning that we need to apply to ourselves what we ask the kids to do, right? So we can't ask the kids to learn Chamorro, and we don't. So we said, and that was a couple of parents, teachers, administrators. We said, okay, we transform the school into a bilingual school, and every one of us learns it. So we all are beginning to create a community of learners, and we're making slow but steady progress at it.
Mihi Tatagi. Let's try it out. Edige Ikaka Nagridu. That is my teachers.
It's kind of difficult learning a different language besides your regular language, but I really look forward to learning it. When I'm like at fiestas with family, like the Manunkus talk a lot, and I kind of just want to know what they're talking about.
They want to be the best, so they are very competitive in that regard. It's been a good journey. It's been a good journey. I really want them to have the same kind of passion that I have about the language. So I'm hoping that I can instill that upon them.
I always wanted to have a conversation with my grandma, just one-on-one, without like people who didn't understand the language. And I wanted to have that kind of to the side conversation. It's important to learn the language because if you have older ones that only speak that language and they're too old to like speak English good, you could just have a small conversation with them and just enjoy it.
Rooted is brought to you by Templa, now open to serve up all your local favorites.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view of the new 500 cells Carolinian canoe that first set sail over the weekend on Saipan ahead of FestPac in Hawaii.
Introducing GTA Scratch, Save, and Win. At GTA, everyone wins big with huge savings on the latest smartphones. Here's how to play. Get a scratch card when you sign up for a new Live Unlimited plan. Then scratch and save up to $500 off your new smartphone. It's that easy. Plus, one lucky winner will instantly win a free phone of their choice. There's never been a better time to switch to GTA, Guam's most reliable network. Don't miss your chance to scratch, save, and win with GTA. Visit us in-store or online at gta.net.
The Guam Brewery was established with a simple mission: to deliver the island we call home with fresh craft beer, made with the cleanest and tastiest ingredients. From IPAs, stouts, sours, and everything in between. We are here with good beer to be a catalyst for creativity and community. This is your beer, Guam. Come home to the simple, fresh taste of the locally brewed beer. The Guam Brewery. Guam Brewery reminds you to drink good beer responsibly.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace. and I'll be around. Oh, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
Camp is in session. If you are a young person ages 11 to 14, make sure to register for West Care Pacific Islands Spring Camp for kids. It's in Jotnya. It takes place on March 25th through 29th. Enrollment, you got to get it done. 8:30 a.m. Make sure to register. Go down to Jotnya and have fun. Beautiful place to have a camp down there in Jotnya. Shout out to our friends in Jotnya. All right, the 2024 Malesso Crab Festival, speaking of amazing island villages, that starts this Friday and runs through Sunday. It starts at 6 p.m. at the Mauricio Martyr Elementary School. Then on Saturday, there's a canoe race at 10 a.m. And then the one event that everybody's looking for, the crab hunt. You can go on our YouTube channel, watch what we did last year. That's at 4:30 in the afternoon on Sunday. Super, super fun. I can't wait. Shout out to the friends in Malesso and Mayor Ernest Chargala for inviting us down there and having the Southern hospitality. And the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation is inviting you up in the CNMI to the First Quarter Blue Ribbon Initiative Consortium. That's on March 20th. That is News Bites. We are KUAM, and this is what we do.
Now for your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Oliver Paul Carbolito, happy 8th birthday to our special boy with all of our love from your family on this 13th of March. Ray Munya, happy birthday to you, Ray, from all of your grandkids and your friends and family all over the island. Christine Nadia Arceo, happy blessed birthday to our beautiful daughter. You bring many sweet and happy memories into our lives. Daughters like you, your family says, are the happiness of life, and you are in our hearts forever in precious moments. Cheers to many more, and we love you, say Mama, Papa Joe, and the entire family. And Grayson Cruz, happy birthday to you. Love your family. Brooke Suba Uggan, happy birthday to our beautiful, witty, and remarkably smart Brooke. Wow, that's the trifecta right there. Awesome. We love you so very much and are so very proud of you from your Suba and Uggan families.
That's the Giizun Mizu Primetime Show. Si Jules Maasi put in Nega Guahi Sidik Delgado. Adios.
Ali, Mogisin, Hafade Zantiro, Rananim, Kasalele, Lengwo, and Yakwe. Welcome back to another edition of the One Micronesia Show. Here we go. I got a jam-packed show for you guys, so let's kick it off with this one. Just recently, they were on Guam to compete for their first ever Jiu-Jitsu competition. I'm talking about FSM BJJ. Check it out. Recently, the FSM Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation competed in their first outing at the 2024 Copa de Marianas that was held at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. Coming along for the incredible experience was a team of 10 and 2 coaches. President of FSM BJJ, Christopher Alfonso, who is also a brown belt, explains how his journey in Jiu-Jitsu began.
Didn't really do that many sports. I did a few. Like when I was in high school in Guam, I did paddling for like two or 3 years. But it wasn't until like my sophomore year of college that I actually started training. And, you know, prior to training, while out there in Philadelphia, I attended school in Philly, and I wasn't the best student. I actually did everything except go to classes. It was my first time in the mainland. I just wanted to see and do everything aside from going to classes, basically. So I actually got dismissed from my university twice because of it.
Alfonso said he sought